Yo, what's going on? We got a 31k replays. I'm here with Luke.
Hey, what's up?
Cool. So yeah, first game, me and Luke against Dio and Bubo. Do you want to go over your army or our armies? Either way.
Sure, yeah. So I have 12 urbans, some of which are gold gold, but the majority of which are gold gold plus one experience. I have four gold gold archer auxilia, and I have four gold gold Praetorian cavalry.
Word. Yeah, my army, I got 12 pikes. They're gold, +2 mostly. Got some archers, 4 archers, 2 chariot archers, and 2 jav cav. I think the chariot archers have like XP or something. Yeah, they have 2 XP and gold attack. And the other cav is gold +2. So yeah, they have some Spartans here. Dio, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 Spartans. Like 5 Rhodians and 2 archers. And here come the Spartans. They run into Luke's line here, and Bubo has like a bunch of pikes, a couple of Cretans, and 5 cav, I think. Gold companions.
Yeah, so my plan here is just to keep as many urbans in reserve as possible. My urbans are not going to accomplish much from the front versus Spartans, so I'm just going to testudo the ones that got like heavily engaged.
Yeah, I remember you were also telling me
Um,
to like not support yet. Just waiting here, not committing
yeah,
too
I did.
early.
I, I didn't want them to focus fire your pikes. That's why they're all spread out as well, because now, no matter what, we have pikes wherever they would deploy Spartan hoplites, so we don't have to like move laterally and get shot by Cretans or whatever.
Yeah, and they gave up like any
Um,
sort of flank control. Their entire army is here in the center.
Pardon me?
Their like entire army is here in the center. They gave up the flanks, pretty much short pikes. So that's kind of nice for us. We're gonna get this round.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Dio being like fully engaged isn't really ideal for them. Because Bubo's infantry has very little offensive capability. So what we decided to do is do this little push where there are no Spartans and no pikes. But I didn't really communicate well that I was going to push with my Praetorian cavalry. So the pikes are going to be a little late to support.
Yeah, and it makes
Y-
their support is like pretty close now that we're a bit slow here with my pikes.
Yeah, but we're going to make up for our lateness of support with volume, sort of.
Right.
And I get another Praetorian in there. It's pretty close here in terms of like which units will route first.
Another thing is like on
And
the
this,
extremities,
sorry, go ahead.
we're like killing most of their archers here. On the flanks, our archers are nicely spread out there, so that's good. But yeah, it looks like
Oh yeah,
it was a pretty equal exchange in the end. Like you both lost a lot. Nothing really routes.
yeah. You ran a bronze shield like right into a Spartan for some reason. Um,
Uh,
that was kind of bad. But overall, we reformed pretty well here, and it's not such an issue. Also, our archers are, I believe, starting to retarget onto their infantry, and we've got our archers very well situated to get shots in rears.
right.
So now Dio is beginning a push on our left. Uh, we're just kind of evacuating. You're swinging some bronze shields over to that side to support.
Yeah, it seems like Bubo as well is basically giving up on their left. They're all going to shift over to the right, and the Spartans are coming down the flank now.
Yeah, the good thing is that it seems to be pretty well contained with the urbans, and I'm actually getting some Pila into Dio's rear.
And now our archers are really starting to get flanking here on those Spartans too that are trying to flank us. They're just gonna get shot in the back, and you can see massive casualties to Pula and archer fire.
Uh, I kind of goofed my cap here, but I did take out a decent amount of companions, and I do have a healthy Praetorian cav as well.
And now we're flanking on our
So
right here.
yeah, we're doing pretty well on our right. This one bronze shield is kind of encircled.
Yeah.
Got a bit overzealous. On the left flank, Bubo's pikemen are getting sort of encircled a little bit.
Yeah, and you have
It's a
urbans
very
like
like
two.
it's a very tactical micro heavy battle. It's not like it's hard to pick out a theme, but I think overall we're just sort of doing well in all of these little fractured engagements, although it's still quite close.
Yeah, I think the Spartans are just slowly kind of losing health too. Like on this flank where they were flanking, they got peeled and shot in the back, and now they're just like 1 HP, and they just died in my pikes pretty easily.
I've got this urban into these royal pikemen. That's quite good.
Yeah, and like
And
all of his Spartans are like in one area now. The rest of them have pretty much been destroyed. So the Urbans are going to do really well against Royals in these other engagements where Spartans are like completely absent.
right, exactly. Yeah, there's not a lot of unity to their formation at this point. But Bubo is sort of recovering here a little bit.
Yeah, they do
And
have
I
pretty
think they
good
are going to
numbers.
start to
Like,
get some routes. They do have what?
they have good numbers. Like a lot of guys are still alive, especially
Yeah,
Bubo.
they outnumber us, I think, at this point still, but we just have a very big archer advantage and a small, modest cav advantage.
Yep, and we're getting very good shots, which is nice.
It's just going to be very hard for them to kill experienced urban cohorts with such a paucity of cavalry, as well as archers shooting into their rears.
Yep. Here the last couple of companions are coming around the flank here. Maybe trying to get some kind of charge on your two urbans there, but I guess he decides to chase archers instead. But you have a huge cav unit here, 43 men, which can easily defend our archers. And you don't let him get a good charge either.
I think it's still going to be able to rout that unit just because that unit is so overwhelmed.
Yeah, but not easily, even. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah, it's really holding out, actually.
It says broken. There it finally goes. But their numbers are just dwindling very quickly.
These urbans, they function so well as commandos when the battlefield is broken up like this.
Yeah.
And there's many little micro fights. The presence of these chariots is also a factor. It's going to have a morale debuff on all their units.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Even though they're quite far away, they still are giving it. So that's nice.
By the gods, the enemy general was a fool.
And now, yeah, over time we're just much healthier.
Rather than leading his men to
Yeah, at this point, battle is pretty much over.
Yeah, your urbans did scarily well in the end game. Like they really couldn't get stopped, especially with the XP. Just run over the royals, like it's not even a problem.
Yeah, they definitely, if they can get into sword range, they can really do a lot of damage.
The enemy general, he's dead.
And our archers still have ammo. So yeah, they've been shooting the whole game.
So yeah, at this point, I think they're about to admit defeat.
Yeah. That's pretty close.
Good job, Generalissimo.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a great victory
Good game, I guess.
for all of Mexico.
Word. Alright. So, should we just go to the next one?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna stop the recording.
What'd you say?
Let's just start. So, this is the second game.
Okay.
Do you want to go over our armies and I'll go over theirs fast?
Sure, yeah. Dia's got like 3 slingers, 6 cavalry, and the rest sacred bands. Bubo's got 3 archer auxilia, 6 cavalry, and the rest urbans. Interestingly, his experience upgrades are all on the urbans. We've got 6 Cretan builds for Macedon with 6 cavalry, and I've got just your basic 14 and 6.
Right on. So they're shifting to the right here. We're kind of just shifting. We're trying to get our archers spread out, so we don't really want to take the fight yet. We're not like fully set up yet.
Right, yeah. This sort of, yeah, we did this rotation so that we'd be able to roll out all the Cretans, basically.
Yeah, especially because they were like quite aggressive on the right. Like they were kind of shifting that way. So
yeah, they like to push before our archer line is set, which is fine. And actually, Dio is gonna really go for it in this game. Go for a very strong push on our left. So I'm going to shift over, maybe try and intercept him with some Pila as he passes by. But he takes a bit of a wider loop around.
he kind of changed his angle there as well to maybe not to avoid that probably.
Yeah.
But he has kind of left Bubo here, but I guess he's far enough away where he can just run away if there's too much pressure.
Yeah, we could have doubled Bubo here. That would have been an option. Although the positioning of your 4 cav all being sort of between,
Right.
or on the other side of Dio's infantry made it less appealing. You get caught here, which really shouldn't happen because Dio was coming from like a mile away.
Yeah, actually I just completely forgot those units were there. They were so far. They were like way beyond my archer line, so I didn't even see that. But
yeah. But you get away like pretty unscathed. You lose a unit, but I believe it even comes back.
Yeah, it does.
Or not. But yeah, I definitely don't necessarily endorse this particular move by Dio. I see what he's trying to do, but he's tiring out his infantry, and those are units that don't do well when tired. Also, he really needs Bubo's support because his units can't stand up to Pila fire at all. So we're just gonna shift over and engage Dio.
Right. Yeah, and then you can see, Bubo's forces are way far away here. We have all of your urbans close by and most of my clicks, so the best thing you can do here is run away, but then you're just gonna get shot in the back, and we could potentially catch him eventually.
Yeah, so he's like warmed up and winded getting into a fight, which is pretty bad for hoplite units because they pretty much need to push forward. So then they're only going to get more tired from there. Again, you kind of had a pike that ran through a hoplite unit, which is suboptimal. I've got 5 units of urbans here, which is significant. The Pila is going to pretty much trash these sacred bands.
I feel like you could have even sent more, maybe, like, a lot of, like, Bubo is, like, surrounding you, which is weird, but now your, like, line is not really facing any infantry.
Yeah, and at a certain point I will move these units. I just could have got behind in terms of having to move other units. So Dio is severely depleted at this point. Just from those 5 units of Pila, plus the fact that his sacred bands were a little bit tired, they really started to drop like flies, so half of his force basically is gone. He's doing some sort of ill-advised attacks with winded cavalry on urbans. Not super good.
Yeah, and those urbans will hold, yeah, they're fresh.
And so this is a moment where I decide to bring all of my urbans before Bubo can get there. See if we can clean up Dio and then face Bubo with both of our forces.
Yep.
Bubo tries to push on my cavalry, seeing they're kind of idle, but little does he know this is actually not a good engagement for him, so I just take it, snipe a cavalry unit, and then I reform.
Yeah, Dio's sacred band cav again, trying to kill your urbans, but yeah, they're just too tired.
Yeah, it's just not really a good trade for him. 2 of my cav actually get sniped here, so Bubo gets me back. Yeah, or just 1 cav, I guess, dies, I want to say.
Yeah.
Before I'm able to reform. So I just create a wall with 3 of my urbans, and the rest of my urbans are wrapping around the back of, or imminently about to wrap around the back of Dio.
Yeah, there's not much left of Dio Sacred Bands here. It's like 3 or 4 units. So. Their archers are still here, but they're kind of far away.
Hey man, like the enemy general.
I have like 1 cav back here, sort of messing with them. But they're not really in range to do any damage to Royals. I mean, they can shoot the back of Urbans maybe, but they're still kind of not in a great position for that. And now all of Dio's infantry is going to die here to Urbans.
Yeah, they're pretty much all gone at this point.
Great gods be praised! The enemy general is killed! Fear makes a home in our enemy's hearts!
And yeah, at this point, there's just such a large number of Urbans left on the field that there's really nothing they can do with, especially with cavalry that isn't that isn't experience upgraded.
Right.
They pretty much have no chance here.
And yeah, and Bubo had less Urbans to begin with because he brought the archers, but he also has like 2 Urbans out of the fight. And his Urbans are already winded, so yours have better stamina as well.
And here we get some slices on Urbans. It's just quite not good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like that.
They are killing some of my urban cohorts, but with each charge that they launch with fatigued cavalry, they lose more men.
And plus you just
our
have such a
cavalry
big
force is
blob.
still healthy.
Yeah.
Run away. That just ain't right.
Yeah, so this is pretty much over. They just have
pretty much.
Cav, yeah.
So we could like maybe triple through the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think
That's rushing forward, catching
just
some
crushing
shit.
their Urbans, yeah. I mean, you have so many. I don't think you lost almost any Urbans here, so. Not much. The archers are gonna die.
Yeah, well, they tried something, let's say, experimental there. Didn't pan out exactly how they wanted it to, but that's how you learn, I guess, or something.
Yeah, I think just like
Uh,
got a bit
they're
caught out. But yeah. Anyway, interesting game. Let's go to the next one, I guess. All right, game 3 now. This time we have Greece, Macedon versus 2 Romes. For army, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 archers, 1 Jav Cav, and the rest are Spartans with gold or gold attack upgrades. You have like 6 Cav, a couple archers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 archers, and the rest are Royals. They have between them 8 Cav and 4 archers, and the rest are Urbans. So yeah.
Yeah. So these companions are maxed out. So our plan is to sort of like, roughly speaking, is to sort of suck the Urbans onto the Spartans and make them tired, make them use all their pila, shoot up their cavalry, and then eventually come in with these fresh elite companions and rout what remains of their backlines. My infantry sort of, they don't really fulfill a role of fixing enemy infantry in place or of killing enemy infantry, but they actually sort of defend the archer line and screen away enemy cavalry units.
Yep. We're just gonna spread out again here. We want to have some good width to, again, either force them to rush one side where we can get shots to the flanks, or force them to split up where the companions can do more with the royals and prevent them from actually killing the archers for free.
So, do you want to like maybe fast forward a tiny bit?
Yeah.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, double speed.
Double speed, right?
Yeah.
Just let me know when to go back to normal speed. We can just wait till the spreading out.
Alright, let's go back to normal speed when you hit 40.
Okay. I just hit it. Alright, so now they're shifting left here. Seems like action might be underway.
Yeah, so they're pushing on our right, which is kind of a mistake. because they're turning their unshielded side towards us when they do that. They should really push on the other side. So my archers are going to come up and attempt to get shots on Bubo, but I think instead he's just going to freeze.
Yeah, I mean, even these rear shots and unshielded shots on the Urbans will be pretty valuable for us because they're going to get a lot of kills. But yeah, he does stop doing that. It's good timing, I guess. And our other flank is kind of far away. We have to run all the way to catch up to them, so we're not getting great shots of movement.
Yeah. I guess I should have started running earlier. Or maybe just been a little bit more narrow, considering they never made an attempt to challenge our width.
Right.
Because the important part about width is really maintaining that sort of outside leverage rather than just being wide to be wide. So now actually we've got a very good angle on Dio with some of these archers that are coming in.
Let's see, are you shooting? I guess we're just doing archer war here. These archers are going to die really fast. Not a lot. But as soon as they turn our backs, or the Urbans turn their backs, we should just start focusing them, I guess. But so far they're not.
Yeah, we could really start getting damage on Dio like starting now. And what I said to do, I believe, at around this time is to start to move rightward, to force them to either rush, and if they rush, then you could sort of attack the trailing units of Bubo,
Right.
or if they decide to shift, then we can shoot their buttholes. Bubo is doing some sort of cav push on our right flank, but we have so many missiles and they're so fast that it's not that concerning.
Yeah, he catches like one of my archers, but now you're just going to be able to shoot his cav in the back, and the archer's going to come back with 42 months. It's not really a big problem. His other cav is now chasing an archer like to the end of the map, so it's kind of out of position.
Yeah, the kills he's getting on our archers are almost not even worth the stamina losses right now. Because of course the stamina will recover, but it's unknown whether that will happen before or after he needs to use these cavalry again. So Dio is now pushing, and I believe this is the time to avoid Dio and start moving towards Bubo.
Right. And yeah, we don't really want to fight them when
And
they're
that's what
super
happens.
integrated. It's just not worth. Especially early on in the battle when we
No,
haven't done any damage.
we
to the
could
archers.
win. We could win, but it would involve eating a huge amount of Pila. It would be pretty close.
But now you can see the effect of this shift, right? We're moving towards Bubo. Dio has to run that way, like to help
And-
Bubo here. And now he's just opening his back, and you can see there's so many dead Urbans right where Dio was.
Yeah. One is down to 55, 72. It might be different on your screen, but Bubo tries to kill this pike, and I guess he does, but not super worth it. Just a pike. I mean, it's probably a fine enough trade, but it's nothing really bad for us.
This cav are winded now, so
My companions are moving to kill these archers, but I think the archers are going to get close enough to the Urbans so that they can sort of turn back and actually shoot my companion, so that's not ideal. You continue to do this sort of counterclockwise movement, which is proving to be quite damaging to Dio.
yep, and we're almost on the flank of Bubo, so he's gonna have to react too, and their entire army might be facing the rear of our archers now.
So right now, Bubo's cav has basically been moving all game, so they're all winded, and once they hit tired, that is a status that it's hard to recover from in a game where you need to be utilizing cavalry.
Yeah, at that point you'll literally have to rest them without being able to do anything for a solid, couple of minutes. So
Right. And Dio's cav that was sort of harassing our archers and pushing them back.
they're kind of just stuck behind. Not much for them to do.
So now Dio attempts this sort of pushing maneuver. Or maybe not. I'm not sure.
I guess he's just rotating. They're starting to just shoot my Spartans a bit, but that's not terrible for now.
Yeah, so now they try to do this push on one lobe of your Spartan force.
Yeah, this is weird though. Like we're not going to engage if both of them are together. We're going to wait for them to be separated. And now this is maybe possible because Dio is kind of running like, towards your units, and now like Bubo is really isolated. I wasn't really sure what the point of this was, but now
Yeah,
we can just
they've
like
definitely-
right now. Look where he's moving. He's moving at your general, and that's just a cue
Yeah.
for us to rush.
yeah, Dio is definitely weakening their position by moving away from Bubo right now. Although he does almost catch these units, so hard to blame him.
But now you
Even
have like
if he did though, it might
yeah.
be great for us.
But now you have all 6 of your cav are like in the vicinity here, 4 of your royals, and all of my Spartans are here just fighting Bubo pretty much, and Dio's miles away, and his force is winded already.
Bubo is in an extremely compromised situation right now because if all my cav were here right now, like behind Bubo, this would be a wrap. So I'm rushing my cav to get into good positions. Dio has to run back. He's taking fire from Cretans while he's doing that in his butt. So, taking pretty horrendous losses actually.
And you made a good call here, which is to wrap around the flank with the rest of my force to continue. So that way, when Dio reinforces, he's just fighting the front of our Spartans here. He's not getting a flank on like half of my force.
Right. Yep, and overall, this is a quite good engagement. Like Bubo didn't get the best Pila, it was all like frontal Pila versus phalanx units. And Dio's going to be winded, which means he won't be able to use his urbans aggressively at all.
Right.
So overall, the stability here is quite great.
And yeah, they
They're not
can't
gonna be
really
able
push
to
aggressively
crush
here, and our
Spartans.
archers are still behind them shooting, so the longer this takes, just the more kills our archers are going to get.
Yep. So it's like it's a catch-22. They can't really attack, but the position is also worsening for them the more that time goes on. So these Spartans on our sort of new left, our old right, are kind of a bit isolated. I would just sort of pull them back if I were you. But we are cutting through some urbans, starting to route urbans. At this point, they may not have a critical enough mass of urbans to even win this game under ideal circumstances, like versus the box, let's say.
Yep, now you just need to kind of wait with your cav to wait for some good opportunities to slice charge, and that'll be the way to really start routing them.
Much better to have lived.
And my general.
Yeah, and what you can see here is we're ganging up on their frontline units with multiple phalanx units, but they can't really commit their reserve units because my cavalry is fresh and Bubo's cavalry is tired. If they don't have reserve units, they have no defense from cavalry.
Yep. They're
And
kind of breaking
GG3.
through. Yeah. They're kind of breaking through on the right, or their new right, our old right. But I'm just kind of trying to pull back a few units, and we're just crushing their the side with Bubo's general.
Yeah, I think in general, like it's better to like maintain integrity with phalanx units. That clump could have been saved, I do believe. My general is just chilling out here. Like he's coming in maybe like only if it gets heated. He's kind of a pussy.
Yeah. Well, my general died, so that's what happens.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe in that Spartan mentality, you know?
And now your cav is gonna get some options here. Their cav is really not even able to defend all the flanks.
Yeah, I get this sort of slap charge against these urbans. I wouldn't wedge charge them just because my cav would get heavily bogged, and there are a lot of urbans here, so just gonna do the slap.
And now you did a nice slice.
But then yeah, and this is arguably worth it. The slice I get, it's kind of good. Hard to say, really. I do I do some damage actually, significant.
Yeah, it was
damage.
pretty significant. Maybe hitting the other general would have been nice. The one that's engaged, they probably would have routed, but they're gonna run anyway. And you do get kind of a recharge with the remains of that unit. And you still have healthier cav. Well, no, but their cav is so out of it, very tired.
I do have a 54 man cav unit.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, just so many pikes. So.
Yeah, at this point I'm just engaging in sword mode with my cav, just because they don't have enough reserves to handle everything we're throwing at them now. So the position's just collapsed at this point.
Yep. And that's that.
So that was a good game. That was a sort of Bubo's brainchild to do a Rome versus Pikes and then reverse.
Right on. So we'll get that next.
Yep.
Alright, so yes, this is the reverse. We have Rome, 2 Romes, they have Macedon and Greece. Luke has 14-6, I have 4 archers, 4 cav, and the rest urbans. Seems we have only 3, 4, 5 archers and 15 Spartans for Dio, and looks like 6 cav and the rest are royals for Bubo.
Yep, so we're just gonna push forward.
Our plan was basically like, we have a massive cavalry advantage, right? So we're gonna try to get aggressive, kill these archers kind of for free. We don't want to use our archers for the archer war. We're gonna save all the ammo to shoot them once we're kind of engaged.
Yeah, basic plan, just to force them into a defensive posture and then butcher their butthole with Archer Auxilia. And Pila, of course. Here I halt, and the weird thing is units can't throw Pila if they have like a disordered formation, so they like reform in this sort of like shitty way.
Yeah,
which I don't like. But whatever, it's not so bad.
I come around the flank here, just to try to get a few Pila in the rear of those engaged units.
Yeah, I like this. I don't think you should follow Macedon, because I just don't. I like this. This forces Macedon to support.
Unfortunately, like, a couple of units like didn't throw Pila for some reason, but 2 or 3 volleys into the back of Spartans is just nice, honestly.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. Right now, I'm just like, I'm literally doing nothing. I'm just holding in guard mode.
I kind of mass Pila'd a bit poorly here. Like, I hit a couple of units specifically instead of spreading it out a bit more.
Yeah, you could have definitely hit more on the back lines for sure. Also,
Yeah.
you're blobbed on this archer. I think you do unblob, but that's weird.
Yeah, I did that actually way too long. I don't know why that was happening. But like, I think eventually, I mean, your cav's coming forward here. My cav, yeah, stops on blobbing. So now we have a lot of cav. Our archers are exposed. Like, Buo's cav can't fight us because there's no pikes aboard here. And so eventually it might just be possible to run through Macedon because there's no Spartans here. The Spartans are actually running away towards your extreme right. He was going to go for a slice. It's like Buo, but I just kind of run away. And now all the cavs here.
Yeah, and I keep lengthening my formation so that Spartans can't get around the flank. Because if they do, then the threat of companions is incredibly great. So you start running through here. This is pretty messy run through, but
yeah,
kind of works. Sort of works. You get into this. You get embroiled in a cavalry clusterfuck here.
yeah.
Slightly ill-advised. But I just kind of pull out my cav. Sorry for not supporting you here, but probably would have been
they're
bad.
dead, so it's all good. But it will give me time to break through this pike formation. It was quite a thick formation, but he was kind of moving when I started to run through, so it was a good time to try to break it. And there's no Spartans again, so this is a time where you can just kill Macedon completely, pretty much.
Yeah, and the thing is, you ran through with a huge number of urbans into a part of his formation, which normally wouldn't necessarily be good. But since the cav fight was going on, he had to peel his reserve pikemen into that fight, which actually allowed this to be kind of good. So now Bubo's going to send his companions around to attack the rear of my urbans that are engaged with Dio Spartans. But
gods
that's
be
going to let me
praised.
slice charge these
The
vulnerable
enemy
pikemen,
general is killed.
and
Fear
that's
makes a
actually
home
going
in
to
our
be
enemies'
catastrophic.
hearts.
I think their general had just died too, actually.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor as well.
But there they all go, so that's
So
nice.
I also managed to get pretty good support for my urbans over here and block his companion cavalry.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have cavalry superiority, not just equality in this matchup in particular.
Right. And then you can see the benefit here, right? We were able to do things with our cav in 2 places, and he couldn't really use his cav at all, because we just had so much more numbers. And now the archers are also coming in, and of course we're only going to get rear shots here. We really don't want to waste ammo, because they have full ammo, obviously, but, you know, Spartans, 2 HP, they will take a beating before they die.
And so at this point I start behaving a bit foolish, being a little too aggressive. And maybe if you didn't tell me to calm the fuck down, we would have lost this game, but you did. So I don't end up engaging all of my urbans at once here.
Right. And yeah, Puba's finally getting some activation from his companions. But we have quite a few urbans left. You have some
Yes,
urbans
we
kind of
will.
far away too. They're gonna come back. But yeah, we kind of disengaged here. We just said, fuck it, let's just like shoot them. If they want to, you know, chase our archers, like, that's fine. But or
A lot of boobo shit we allowed to come back here that actually didn't need to be allowed to live.
Right.
But yeah, they're struggling to generate much offense here, even on the side where they should be doing really well. Yeah, this situation obviously pretty good for us. It's still losable just because Spartans have this sort of random ability to tank. Like, if we engaged right now, would we win? Probably. Almost definitely, but we decided to take this sort of safer approach, which is to shoot.
Yeah.
And invariably, when a Spartan player is being shot at in the back, he will chase clumps of shit because those units have ridiculous stamina for infantry. So yeah, it's just gonna be a chase-a-thon.
Yep, and you're kind of finishing off the reserves. You kind of take some losses to your cav, but it's acceptable here. They don't have any cav left, so...
Yeah, I will take any opportunity to kill heavy infantry with cavalry at this point.
The Spartans are kind of getting owned here because they're in a fucking blob, so the archers are just fucking massacring them, but there are still quite a few.
Yeah, do you want to like double speed the rest of this game?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So I believe they kind of just like end up trying to chase down a few random urban units, but we're a little too slick for that.
Yeah, and
shit.
whatever way they go, they're just gonna get shot in the back, and they have to stick together because you have so much cav that if they, you know, if they break apart, we can easily kill the isolated Spartans. So.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm gonna be... Shit, I got sunblock in my eyes. Fuck. I'm gonna be offensive with my Praetorian cav while they're chasing, just sort of harassing them. And yeah, I mean, once they box, my Praetorian cav will have little to no value, so I'm perfectly happy to sacrifice them to do even a modicum of damage to their infantry.
Alright, and as soon as they turn to face us like this, we're just gonna surround, not shoot frontally here.
Right.
Their archers are like still alive at the edge of the map, which is hilarious. I kept checking out my units, they took like fucking 5 hours to kill these Cretans at the red line.
Yeah, that's the point where you want to start using movement orders to see if you can change your position a little bit. So yeah, now they're just gonna run with all their Spartans. We should have probably just like unified our infantry, but this is more fun.
I mean, I think this is fine, because they can rush our entire infantry force, like, I don't know, they can get caught.
Yeah. No, I just mean it would be like more elegant to just have brought everything together
Right.
in terms of our infantry, and then only like use the archers once they get pinned onto our infantry or some shit like that. But this is fine. I think I lose all my cav here for a second, and then they all come back.
Yeah. But like you said, the cav have very little value at this point, so... Yeah, you try to go for this charge on the royals, I think.
They try to finish off these tired pikemen.
The first charge kind of came from the front.
Yeah, it was not good timing, or whatever.
But yeah, these companions, whatever, they're not going to be able to chase the cav off the field.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring a cav to protect my routing units, and they do come back.
Finally catching your 2 urbans here. Our infantry's kind of far away. But
Yeah, they do catch shit, but they get quite fatigued in the process.
the funny thing is, like, our infantry is so far that, like, as soon as they kill these, they could probably rest and be pretty much fresh by the time our infantry gets there. Just because of how fast the Spartans get fresh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they do have ridiculous stamina, that's no lie. So I finally killed a royal pikeman here. And I'm gonna go for the other one. I'm gonna do this sort of halt thing, where he tries to turn. What, they just route.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, that's a good thing to know for any players. Like, because you send an attack order doesn't mean you have to like wait for it to go through. Like, if the pike turns, just halt the cav, and they'll stand like right in front of them, and you'll infinitely fucking frustrate your opponent.
Right. I know they admit, but yeah, that's fair enough.
And at this point, they admit. Pretty much no chance for them at that point. So, good game.
Yeah.